Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hi, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today we are discussing Farscape, Season 2, Episode 2, Vitas Mortis. Dargo assists a dying holy woman who accidentally steals Moya's mojo. How did you find this episode?
If I had to make a list of my least favorite episodes so far, this would definitely be on there.
From just Season 2? Or Season 1 included?
Season 1 included.
Yeah.
It is aggressively okay.
I find this episode very, very boring.
It's super boring.
Farscape has done episodes with really intricate plots with a lot of twists. And while this episode does have twists, they almost... Well, I guess it has one twist, maybe. It doesn't really feel like a twist, because otherwise it would just be the end of the episode.
Are you talking about the reveal that she's draining Moya? Is that the twist? Yeah,
I guess.
That's not a twist.
A lot of episodes in the past have switched things up, or they've introduced plot elements, then removed them, then re-added them, and left you confused and wanting more. No, not really here, though. It's just a very simple mystery that is very quickly solved.
And it involves a character that I immediately don't care about, and then as the episode drags on, I care less and less about her.
I thought she was okay. At one point, when she's talking to John, she was alright.
That was good. I really like how she appealed to John with her argument about, well, not an argument, when she said, hey, I'm separated from the people I know. It's been a really long time. Do you know what that feels like? Yeah, John does.
She seemed relatable and wise in that scene. The rest of the time, not so sure.
It was so obvious that she needed to die really early on, so the more time she spent not being dead, I was annoyed.
Yeah, this episode really suffers from sort of plot metagaming. I don't know what to call it. Okay, so Moya's falling to bits. You know that's going to get solved. The old holy woman, Holy Luxon, gets the gift of youth, and you know that's related, and that's got to get reversed. We've already had her on death's door, so you know she's probably going to die to resolve it, because otherwise the moral equation would be absolutely uninteresting. I mean, it still is uninteresting, but well, maybe that would have been a weird twist if she said, oh, actually I can heal Moya and now we're both fine.
I would have hated that too.
It would have been unexpected. Like,
Did
this episode play out in the way you expected?
100%.
Yeah, it's very predictable, which is not something I can say about many Farscape episodes. Certainly not that we've seen so far.
What did I say my favorite episode of season 1 was? What's the name of it?
Born to be Wild.
This episode plays out like Born to be Wild if Born to be Wild were bad. Do you have a character?
A very roundabout way of saying this episode was just bad. But no, I get what you mean. You've got, in Born to be Wild, you had characters who had questionable motives, and it flipped on them like several times each.
Yeah, and they're isolated to the episode. The episode isn't connected to the general storylines. And they have to make us care about this one character. But here it does not succeed.
Also, Born to be Wild had a B plot and a C plot, I think. This episode has no B plot, really.
Yeah, Chiana is stuck in some laundry. But
Well,
that was related to the ship malfunction,
yeah,
so
I'd say
doesn't
that's
even count.
part of the A plot. And I think that was the only exciting thing that happened.
I know, I wanted that to lead to something more because I was desperate for something interesting to happen in this episode.
I like how the hull breach happened in the room where she's stuck. I expected it to be somewhere else, but that created an interesting little problem that was immediately solved.
Yeah, with not intentionally.
No one did anything in this episode.
No, they couldn't figure out how to break the weird stuff that Chiano was stuck in. Rigel was the hero by accident.
The characters had no agency. Like, they made no meaningful choices at all. No one
Yeah.
did anything.
John sat and then banged on a door when he heard Dargo yelling.
He
The
did
more
nothing.
The more I talk about this episode, the more I realize I don't like it at all. Okay, here's something. I like how Pilot looked gross.
Yes, the effects of old age on a completely alien-looking creature it's quite well done. How do you approach designing that?
With care?
Then they did it carefully because it worked.
I also liked the little bit of info we got out of Pilot, knowing that Pilot will die when Moya dies because of the connection, and that his life duration is severely diminished by being bonded with Moya.
He's losing out on 700 years.
That's quite a lot.
Yes. That was... I wonder if they just put that in to make the episode a bit more exciting.
We need something in here.
We need to drip feed some info. Some world building stuff.
The stuff I liked was the fringe stuff that didn't have to do with the actual episode. I like that. I liked when Gianna refused to do Aaron's laundry and then said she was doing Dargo's because she likes Dargo.
I like that Dargo had a story about his beard tattoo, general rank stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was really good too.
I don't know why he's never mentioned any of that before.
Didn't need to. They're not Luxons. They don't know Luxon generals have barcodes on their chins.
Zan did,
Oh,
but she's known him for a long time.
I like the story that went along with that too. How he had to save his general, and how he ended up being captured. That was good stuff.
It kind of didn't make sense to me. So I guess the classic way this would be told is you take the general's uniform, which would then make sense because they would no longer be wearing the general's uniform, but you can't just also tattoo the same thing.
He had a chin skirt on. False chin.
What, did they just bandage up the general's chin?
Yeah.
He's been wounded in the chin.
Exactly. Someone stabbed him in the chin.
Oh. Tattoos take a while to do.
Not Luxon tattoos, they're instant.
It's just an iron-on tattoo.
Yeah, and then they use permanent ink by accident, so now it's there forever. It was meant to be temporary.
So with 2 minutes and a Sharpie, you can imitate a general, maybe even higher ranks than that.
Seems way too easy to infiltrate Luxon military.
A uniform, at least, is hard to forge accurately. I mean, they maybe did also swap uniforms. I mean, I'm assuming that the tattoo is the only identifier.
Maybe for the real general, they tattooed his entire face, so it was all tattoo.
No, he would have to have the same thing then.
No, I mean, they added to the general so he wouldn't look like a general anymore.
He's in blackface.
Yeah, they're like, he's just racist. That's not a general.
I feel, yeah, okay. He may not have mentioned that if that happened.
Yeah, because
be
it makes the general sound bad, so he leaves that part out of the story.
The general is unconscious for this. He wakes up. His new life is just awful. There was a lot of sexy sex scenes. Well,
I wouldn't call them sexy.
There wasn't really a lot either.
There was the initial one, and then at the end, Dargo makes out with a dead old woman. I don't know if you're including that.
I was not including that.
Oh, okay. I
We
don't
can
know.
include it if you want, I guess.
I don't want to make assumptions.
She was also licking Dargo's nipple, I think.
I could have done without that.
It was an unusual thing to add to an episode. I guess in a weirder, more exciting episode, it might have come across as funny, perhaps quirky. In this one, it's kind of like, it's quite boring. It's a dull episode, and then suddenly you got his big old Luxon nipple. I don't know. Mixed feelings about that.
Aren't mixed. They are homogenous, and they are all bad.
At least they put something in.
I don't like it because it's in this episode.
Farscape's a sexy show. I mean, the villain that is presumably chasing them, he's in full bondage gear the whole time. So I'm okay with them putting a bit of nipple licking in. I mean, that it needs to be slightly quirky, sexy stuff because it's a sexy show.
To be clear, I'm not against nipple licking. I'm against this episode.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I'm talking about it for so long.
It makes sense that they're into licking things. They have long tongues. Well, the males do.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know about females.
It would be very humorous if she licked the nipple from across the room.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Some acrobatic licking.
They still don't want to make it an explicit show. Showing a male nipple is not going to kill children. Unlike showing a female nipple, which definitely will kill children.
So, does Dargo move at super speed, or does that gun shoot really slow laser blast?
It's pretty slow.
Okay, that solves that.
You mean the slow motion didn't hide that the timing was crazy?
No, it didn't. It was way off.
He had a good while once he arrived to stand and ponder
Yeah.
his impending death.
Oh no, I'm going to die. At least I had my nipple licked. That's a bad scene because I really wanted her to get shot. And so I was teased.
It's a bad scene because Erin would... She would definitely run in with a gun and say, hey, stop. But outright just firing?
I didn't even think about that. That's kind of psychopathic.
She's fairly aggressive and will use force to her advantage, but that seems excessive. She doesn't even know if that would work.
Yeah. Let me murder this person and then see if this works.
They identify the problem, but that doesn't lead to the solution, hey, if she dies, Moya will be fine. I mean, I guess as it turns out, that probably was it.
She
I guess
was
maybe...
right, but she didn't know.
We don't even know. Was the ritual important?
Yeah, that could be a thing.
It was also a bad scene because I didn't like the crystal effect.
Oh, yeah, the pointless crystal thing.
I thought they were standing behind, like, frosted glass.
I don't like that they were moving.
Yeah, they were standing still, and then I think they put an effect on top.
Yeah.
I don't think it was an actual physical object, but it could have just been a sheet of frosted glass. Kind of get in a sort of bathroom window. But when it shattered, it looked CG, so it was a very unconvincing effect.
It was unconvincing, and I don't like that she did it, that she has, it made her seem really powerful, but then she can't do anything else. She can't help Moya.
She had lots of telekinesis and stuff. She seemed very, very powerful.
Way overpowered. She could split a bullet or laser blast thingy.
Apparently, yeah. But, well, Maldus, the wizard from season 1, when they got attacked by a wizard, was very powerful as a wizard. So I guess magic is just a thing. It's not. You could call it magic, I guess, but you could also call it super advanced science. Or although, is it really science? She's doing incantations and stuff. I think it's a bit too much in the magic sort of realm.
That's all for show.
So can Luxons just have magic powers if they are very religious? Is that
yes?
What I'm taking from this?
Or Luxons that are born super powerful are drawn to religion because they need to have a way to explain their powers and they don't know how else to do it.
Originally, Luxon females were going to have beards.
Oh, that would have been so good.
It was one of the things they planned from the start of the show. Then they got to this episode and decided maybe not.
That would have improved this episode just a tiny bit.
They definitely should have had big old mustache and beard flapping in the wind.
Even better if the beards were bigger than the males. Bigger than the male beards.
Like a real big bushy beard.
Yeah. Like Santa.
Yeah, Santa Claus style.
Okay, now I hate this episode even more because there are not female Luxon beards.
It seems like everything I bring up is just degrading the episode for you.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'll bring up something I really liked then.
I can't imagine what it is.
Oh
wait, I got one.
Oh,
you go first.
I bet it's the same thing. Okay, so when the decompression happened, there was a really cool shot of a sort of spanner or tool of some sort flying through the hole and out into space.
Yeah, that was neat.
What was your thing?
I liked Zan's dress. That's it.
It certainly made up for Dargo's almost Hawaiian pajamas.
Yeah, I was
He's
not...
like wearing like a kimono or something.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
If we're discussing fashion, it must be bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. We never discuss fashion.
Well, it doesn't matter, or it shouldn't matter that much. There's usually better things to discuss about a story than what people were wearing, although clothes were like one of the major plot points in this story.
Yeah.
Do you have a quote from this episode which you would like to share with us?
We got lucky. Sparky's got a big ass.
We got lucky kind of describes this episode because, as I said, no one makes any choice of any kind, really.
We didn't get lucky as viewers because we had to watch this.
It's for the greater good. Remember, the second episode of season 1 was garbage.
So it's tradition. They're upholding tradition. That's all it is.
I don't know. I can't say off the top of my head, but maybe they're not good at second episodes.
Wait, you said these aired in a different order than filmed?
Yes. Okay. There was a different season 2, episode 1. But I'm not going to talk about that until a later date.
Okay.
All will be revealed at the point where all possible spoilers are invalidated.
Fair enough. But you're right in that nobody did anything in this episode. It was all luck. And when luck leads to good things, it's very boring.
Didn't even lead to anything good. Just some stuff happened to them. They had no choices, and Rigel has a big butt.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to complain that a creature wouldn't work as a plug, but then I don't care enough about this episode.
I don't think you'd be able to. So the vacuum of space is a very, very strong vacuum.
Like a Hoover.
No, a lot stronger.
Dyson.
Oh, whoa, not that strong.
Kirby.
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
The pressure difference is enormous. I think they would all. The hole was pretty sizable.
Yeah,
Like a
massive hole.
6-inch spanner fit through. I think they would all be horribly killed in a very short space of time.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen. I would be sad.
The episode would be half the length, though.
Yeah, but that's a weird way to end a show.
So on the minus side, the show would end, but on the plus side, the episode would end. Also, one last thing I'm going to point out. There is a difference between murder and manslaughter.
Yeah. Intent.
Yes, it's the key thing Dargo was talking about. John just ignores him and says, "No, she's a murderer." Dargo was like, "You're not listening. Not murder."
Oh, when he said it doesn't matter, I took it as that doesn't change what we need to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I predict the next episode will be better than this one.
You're playing a dangerous game.
No. That's a safe bet. That's the safest bet I've made.
Only one way to find out. Oh,
Ow.
Yeah. There's multiple ways. Let's go watch the next episode.
Okay.